In this lecture, we will discuss inverse trigonometric functions and hyperbolic functions. First of all, we can define inverse sine function. The inverse sine function is written as sine inverse of z or arc sine z. Sine inverse of z or arc sine z, and is defined by W equal to sine inverse of z if z is equal to sine w. Okay, that is, the inverse sine function is denoted by sine inverse of z or arc sine z and is defined by w equal to sine inverse of z if z is equal to sine w. Now, to find an expression for sine inverse of z, we have to use the definition of sine w or definition of sine function. Okay, so to get the expression for sine inverse of z, you can use this. That means z is equal to, that is actually z is equal to sine w. We have to find w equal to sine inverse of z, right? So uh, now z is equal to sine w implies, we can write z is equal to sine w is nothing but e to the power iw minus e to the power minus iw divided by 2i, right? That implies 2iz minus or equal to e power iw minus e power minus iw. That is, actually we have to find w, that is w is sine inverse of z. Okay, so from this we can write e power iw minus e power minus iw minus 2iz is equal to 0. Now we multiplying this equation with the e power iw. Okay, multiplying this equation with the e power iw, so we will get e power iw or 2iw minus e power minus iw into e power iw is 1, that is e power 0, minus 2iz into e power iw equal to 0. Now actually it is a quadratic equation in e power iw because it is, this can be written as iw whole square minus 2iz into e power iw minus, it is a quadratic equation in e power iw with the coefficient a equal to 1 a and b equal to minus 2iz and c equal to minus 1, right? So we can use the quadratic formula to find e power iz from this. Therefore, by using quadratic formula, we have e power I omega or e power iw is equal to minus b plus or minus square root of b square minus 4ac divided by 2a, right? So this is equal to minus b, this is b, so minus b is 2iz plus or minus square root of, or we can use plus because the value of square root of will be 2. This two valued function, square root of b square minus 4ac is a two valued function, so we are just using plus only. In the problems we can use plus or minus. Okay, so square root of b square minus 4ac, b square is, this is b, so b square is 4, I square is negative 1 and z square minus 4ac, a is 1 and c is minus 1, so plus 1 divided by 2a, that is 2. So this is equal to 2iz plus 4 can be taken outside, so 2 into square root of 1 minus z square divided by 2. So dividing 2 we get iz plus square root of 1 minus z square. This is actually e power iw. Okay, so e power iw equal to this. So we have actually is square root of 1 minus s square has two values, that is plus or minus, that is why we are using plus or minus here. Okay, so e power iw equal to iz plus square root of 1 plus 1 minus z square. Therefore iw equal to ln of iz plus square root of 1 minus z square. Okay, so we have to find the value of w, because w is sine inverse of z, right? W is sine inverse of z, so w equal to 1 by I into 1 by I into ln of this iz plus square root of 1 minus z square. So when we multiply and divide by I, we get this is minus I into ln of iz plus square root of 1 minus z square. So this will be the value of sine inverse of z, because w is sine inverse of z. Okay, so this is the value of sine inverse of z. So here we will have two values, because this square root has two values. Okay, now in a similar way we can find the value of cos inverse of z. I am leaving to you. uh, the inverse cosine function, inverse cosine function inverse cosine function is w equal to cos inverse of z if z is equal to cos w. So using the value of cos w, we know cos w is actually uh, e to the power iw plus e to the power minus iw divided by 2. So using this, and we can find the inverse w from this. Okay, like this. So you will get cos inverse of z is equal to, or w equal to, okay, minus I ln z plus I into square root of 1 minus z square. So you just verify this. Okay, so this will be cos inverse of z. Cos inverse of z is equal to minus I ln z plus I into square root of 1 minus z square. Okay, now similarly we can find the inverse tangent function. Inverse tangent function, that is w equal to tan inverse of z if z is equal to tan w. Okay, so to find tan inverse of z, we can write tan inverse of z is equal to w. So z is equal to tan w implies z is equal to tan w, which is sin w divided by cos w. But we have cos w is this, and sin w is e power iw minus e power minus iw divided by 2. This is 2i, that is this is sin w. Okay, so sin w by cos w is nothing but e power iw minus e power minus iw divided by 2i. This is sin w, and cos w is e power iw plus e power minus iw divided by 2. So this is equal to e power iw minus e power minus iw divided by e power iw minus, sorry, plus e power minus iw into 1 by I. 2 is get cancelled. So z is equal to this. So we can write I into z into, when we multiply this to this z, so I into z into e power iw plus e power minus iw is equal to e power iw minus e power minus iw. our aim is to find W because W is tan inverse of Z. Okay, so we are taking the coefficients of e power IW from this. So e power IW into, we can write IZ minus 1 plus e power minus IW into IZ plus 1 equal to 0, right? Or we can use uh, e power IW into IZ minus 1 is equal to e power minus IW into, or minus e power IW into IZ plus 1 equal to 0, right? So multiplying throughout by e power IW, multiplying throughout by e power IW, we get e power 2 IW into IZ minus 1 is equal to, here will be 1 e power minus IW into e power IW, that is e power 0, that is minus 1 into IZ plus 1. So here is, okay. So e power 2 IW is equal to this minus IZ plus 1 divided by IZ minus 1, or we can write this as 1 plus IZ divided by 1 minus IZ, that is e power IW whole square. Clear? So we can write or we can use like this 2IW, then we get 2IW is equal to ln of this, right? Ln of 1 plus IZ divided by 1 minus IZ. Therefore W is equal to we'll get 1 by 2I into ln of 1 plus IZ divided by 1 minus IZ. Okay, so when we multiply this with I, we get, so I into or minus I divided by 2, I by here I into I square is negative 1, so minus I by 2 into ln of 1 plus IZ divided by 1 minus IZ. So this is actually I by 2 into ln of this inverse, because here is negative, we know a log b or a ln b is equal to ln b power a. So minus ln this is equal to ln this ln this negative power minus 1. So we have to write the reciprocal of this. So 1 minus IZ divided by 1 plus IZ. Okay. Now when we multiply here with I, we get I by 2 ln. We are just multiplying here I and dividing with I. So we'll get I minus I square is negative 1. So I plus Z divided by, here is I square is negative 1, so minus Z. So I by 2 into ln I plus Z divided by I minus Z. This is W. W is nothing but tan inverse of Z. Okay, so we can write this as the definition of tan inverse of Z. Clear? Next we can discuss an example. Find all the values of sine inverse of root 5. Sine inverse of root 5. Here to find the values of sine inverse of root 5, we can use the definition of sine inverse of Z. We have sine inverse of Z as equal to minus I ln of iz plus square root of 1 minus z square. Okay, so therefore sine inverse of root 5 is nothing but minus I ln of I root 5 plus square root of 1 minus z square. Z square is 5. So here actually you can use plus or minus. So this is equal to, because this square root value this has two values. Okay, so this is minus I ln of I root 5 plus or minus square root of minus 4. We know this is nothing but minus I ln of I root 5 uh, plus or minus I into 2 or 2i. Okay, so this is equal to minus I ln of root 5 plus or minus 2 into I. Okay, so this is equal to, by using the definition of ln, we have ln of this is equal to log of modulus of square root of 5 plus or minus 2 into I plus I into argument of this. So argument of this is actually this value is root 5 plus or minus 2 into I will be on this line. Okay, this imaginary line. So the argument is pi by 2. So we will have I into pi by 2 plus 2n pi for n is equal to 0 plus or minus 1 plus or minus 2 etc. Clear? So actually this is nothing but minus I into log of modulus of this is nothing but log of square root of 5 plus or minus 2, because this is actually positive number. Square root of 5 is greater than 2, so this number is positive. So log of this plus I into pi by 2 plus 2n pi for n is equal to 0 plus or minus 1 plus or minus 2 etc. Okay, so these are the values for sine inverse of root 5. Now to simplify this, looking into this number root 5 plus 2 and root 5 minus 2, root 5 plus 2 and root 5 minus 2, we have actually root 5 uh, plus 2 into root 5 minus 2 is equal to a plus b into a minus b, that is a square minus b square. So 5 minus 4 is equal to 1. So we can write this root 5 minus 2 is equal to 1 by root 5 plus 2. Clear? That is, this is equal to which is equal to root 5 plus 2 to the power minus 1. So log of root 5 minus 2 can be written as log of root 5 plus 2 power minus 1. So this is nothing but minus log of root 5 plus 2. That means log root, here is actually log root 5 plus 2 or log root 5 minus 2. But log root 5 minus 2 can be written as negative log root 5 plus 2. Clear? So here we can use a plus or minus here. Okay, so this is, so from this we can directly write this is equal to minus I into plus or minus log of root 5 plus 2 plus I into pi by 2 plus 2n pi for n is equal to 0 plus or minus 1 plus or minus 2 etc. It is sine inverse of root 5 equal to this. Because actually log this, because log root 5 minus 2 is equal to minus log root 5 plus 2. Okay, so here we can we need only to use root 5 plus 2 and plus or minus. Okay, either it will be log root 5 plus 2 or it will be log root 5 minus 2, and this is actually log minus log root 5 plus 2. So we can write like this. Now multiplying with the minus I, we will get here I into I is -1, so minus I into pi by 2 plus this. So here is plus or minus I into log of square root of 5 plus 2 minus I square is plus, so plus I square is -1, so plus pi by 2 plus 2 and pi. Okay, so we'll get this, the value of sine inverse of root 5 is nothing but pi by 2 plus 2 and pi plus or minus I into log of root 5 plus 2. Okay, basically for n is equal to 0 plus or minus 1 plus or minus 2 etc. These are the values of sine inverse of root 5. Okay, thank you.